Hey everyone, so I just wanted to give you a little intro into breathwork and why it's so important, and also a short exercise just to tune into your body and just see what state you're in. So why this is important is because if you're not already familiar, there's two different states that our body typically goes between. There's the sympathetic and the parasympathetic state. I'm sure you've heard about this. The sympathetic state is when we're in that fight and flight state. It's where our body is aroused, it's typically when we're working out or when we're stressed. So it's physical and emotional triggers that cause us to be in these certain states. So sympathetic is when your body is in survival, so it's sending all of the blood to your heart. And because if you need to run fast, if you need to get out of somewhere, if you need to protect yourself, you need the energy in your body to be able to make that happen. So on the opposite side, the parasympathetic state is when you're in rest and digest. So that's when the majority of your blood is going to your stomach. It helps you with good digestion. It helps you to have a good amount of energy level. And that's when you're just in a rested mode. It's the mode that you want to be in when you're sleeping. But a lot of the time, our body just gets in a habit of being in the improper state. So what we want to be able to do with breath work is to tune into what's happening in there so that we can kind of give it a little bit more direction to how we want it to be. So if you're really wanting to work on lowering your stress levels, improving your digestion, or anything that involves repair in your body, that's the state that you're going to want to focus on. And of course, we want to balance. So we want to be able to easily go back and forth between these states throughout the day, but not have one state rule over the other. So with this breath work, it just helps you check in, see where you are, and if you need to adjust it, then you can. So with that, let's get into the exercise. Everyone, so this is just going to be a quick breath test just to see where you are right now. I just want you to sit in a comfortable position, preferably with your back erect. If you can have your feet on the floor, just whatever you need to do to get comfortable. So I want you to take your right hand, you're going to lift it up to your nose, and you're going to close off the right side of your nose and take a big inhale through the left side. So when you're ready, close the right side and just take a big breath in. And let it out. So with that, I just want you to rate yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, was it super easy to breathe through it? Did it feel a little clogged up? Did it feel really clear? Just rate yourself from 1 to 10, a good number on where you think that you were. Don't overthink it, just whatever is the first number that comes to mind. And then we're going to do the exact same thing with the left side. So you're going to take your left hand, put it up next to your nose, and you're going to close it off and just take a deep inhale through the right side. And let it out. And you're going to do the same. Rate it through 1 through 10 and just see where you fall. Typically, with how the nerves in your body are wired, the right side is going to be connected to the left side of your brain, which is the sympathetic state. The left side of your nose is connected to the right side of your brain, which is the parasympathetic state. So depending on which nostril was more clear, that's the state that you're in. So if your right nostril was more clear, then you're in the sympathetic state. If your left nostril was more clear, then you're in the parasympathetic state. So what we want to do is just make sure that our body's state is appropriate to what we're doing right now. So if you're just sitting here and you're relaxed and you're in the sympathetic side of your brain, that left side of your brain, which means that your right nose is easiest to breathe through, that just means that we want to work on that to slow our bodies down and to get ourselves in a state that's a little bit more balanced where we're not in that fight or flight mode. So the breath work that we do, there's 3 different practices that I offer. They're like 2 to 5 minutes max throughout the day that you can do it. I recommend doing 3 different breaths throughout the day, so it's 15 minutes total. I try to keep these practices simple because simple is what usually tends to get repeated. So with that, next I would recommend that you do listen to that link that I sent you. It's going to be the water breath, also known as the coherence breathing. So what that does is just balances your nervous system, so your body is a little bit more calm. It's a good one to use anytime throughout the day, just to kind of recenter yourself and get your body into a rested state. So with that, I do have 2 different offers. I do one-on-one coaching. I am going to be taking on 3 new clients on July 13th, so that will be the start date. The coaching is 1 month of coaching. We will set up a Telegram account between the 2 of us, and I'll check in with you weekly. You can ask me whatever questions you want. I usually get back to all the questions on Tuesday and Thursday of every week. So, and then whenever I can kind of pop in and answer some more questions. So if you are interested in that, just let me know. That one is $149.99. But like I said, it's for a month of coaching, and there's actually 6 different breaths that I teach within that. There's 3 breaths that are just an intro, and then depending on where you are and how far you want to go, there are 3 other more advanced breaths. So with doing this breath work, it is made to just incorporate into your everyday life. So you'll notice after a couple of weeks or a week that your breathing will just kind of start to increase and you'll feel a little bit better. So the other offer that I have is just to have access to the main 3 gentle, the intro breaths that I offer. And that one's just $33.99. Just message me whether or not you are interested in either one of those, and I'll send you information and links to get that. So with that, I hope it helped. I hope it gave you a little bit of an intro into what breathwork is, and I will talk to you soon.